the village of bark and reed. Joshua marveled at the structures. Unlike the drafty, rectangular timber frames the English built, these homes were rounded and organic, built from arched saplings and covered in meticulously sewn sheets of chestnut bark and woven reed mats. "They follow the shape of the wind, Joshua," John whispered, noticing his son's wide eyes. "They don't fight the land. They live with it." A thin curl of smoke rose from the center of the largest wetu. At the entrance, an elder named Canonchit stepped out. He didn't offer a stiff English bow. He raised a hand in a gesture of peace that John returned with a practiced ease born of years of neighborly respect. Stepping inside was like entering another world. The interior was surprisingly warm and spacious, lined with beautifully tiered benches covered in soft furs. Deer, black bear, and beaver. The hearth. In the center of the floor, a small, controlled fire crackled. Directly above it, a circular hole in the roof allowed the smoke to escape while letting in a shaft of sunlight that illuminated the swirling dust motes. The scent. It smelled of dried herbs, sweetgrass, and a bubbling pot of nazamp, a thick corn porridge mixed with berries and clams, that sat near the fire. The walls. Woven mats with intricate geometric patterns lined the walls, providing insulation that made the home feel tighter and warmer than the Tefts' own cabin. The Tefts were invited to sit on the low benches. There was no hurried business here. They sat in a comfortable silence first, a Narragansett custom of settling the spirit before speaking. Joshua watched as a young child, perhaps the very one who would later capture his heart, offered them wooden bowls of food. As they ate, John and the elder spoke in a mix of English and Narragansett. They talked of the coming winter, the migration of the deer, and the boundaries of the Great Swamp. For a few hours, the brewing tensions of the colonies felt a world away. There was only the warmth of the fire, the shared meal, and a genuine curiosity between two families who, for a brief moment in history, saw each other simply as neighbors. When the sun began to dip below the treeline, John and Joshua walked back toward their own farm, the taste of sweetgrass still on their tongues and the image of the Golden Bark village etched into their minds. This beautiful friendship was added into Mary's journal.
Through the timbered gates of the great swamp's edge, where the Pettaquamscut waters run, a father walked the narrow ledge. With Joshua, his youngest son, no heavy muskets lined their backs, no iron greed was in their eyes. They followed soft and ancient tracks, underneath the Rhode Island skies. The village stood in a golden ring of chestnut bark and woven reed, where the cooling breath of the autumn king stirred the drying pods of seed. The wetu curved like the earth's own breast, warm with the scent of the cedar's heart, a place where a weary man could rest and set his heavy world apart. A girl, with braids of midnight hue, offered a bowl of wood and clay. She shared the meal and the friendship too, while the forest shadows danced away. Sweet corn and berries, dried and blue, the gift of a neighbor kind and free, a silent vow that Joshua knew would bind his heart to her destiny. The smoke rose up to the open sky, a silver thread from the central fire, while the elders sat as the sun went by, leaving the world of the cross and spire. For a moment there, in the great swamp's deep, the lines of the map were washed away, and the promise that two families keep shone like the light of a fading day.